Hey everybody, welcome back to the homestead. About a year ago, we started raising quail. So if you asked me a year ago how I thought this would turn out, my answer would have been totally different than what it is today. Some things turned out even better than I imagined, and still, some things are much worse than I imagined. So stick with me and let's talk about what we've learned. So before we get started, if you're new here, welcome. We're glad to have you. We are a 3-acre homestead where we raise chickens, rabbits, quail, and a pretty big garden. So if that's the kind of thing that you're curious about, we'd love for you to subscribe to our channel. Leave us a comment below. So we had big plans when we started. We originally wanted quail to eat because I grew up eating quail. My granddad was a quail hunter, and I really do enjoy quail. So that was one of the big reasons that we decided to raise quail. But I also had aspirations of selling eggs, selling hatching eggs, selling chicks. None of that really panned out, but we learned some really expensive lessons in the process of where we are now. So the first lesson that we learned is do your research. I don't know about you, but I have a tendency when I get something in my mind and I want to do something, I have a tendency to jump in head first. So, and that's exactly what we did with quail. Read a little bit about it, watched a few videos about it, jumped in headlong. Did not do enough research on the front end. Ended up buying some birds that really didn't fit what we were trying to do with quail. That was me getting in a hurry to actually have quail in the homestead instead of taking my time and doing the proper research. And looking back on it, one of my biggest mistakes was spending money before I really understood what I actually needed. Like I said, I bought birds that really didn't fit what we were trying to do. I bought expensive equipment that really didn't fit my needs. I used waterers and drinkers that were made for chickens that I thought would be fine for quail that turned out not to be fine for quail and led to a lot of wasted feed. If I were going to start over, and I kind of have, I would spend more time researching, trying to understand what it is that I want to do and what it is that I actually need. I absolutely love our viewers. We get lots of great ideas from our viewers. I heard a viewer recently post that they built a 3-stack cage with egg rollouts for about $60, and that that is the kind of thing that we need to be trying to do. And instead of spending money, instead of spending capital, we need to use some creativity. We need to use creativity over capital. So I ended up spending about close to $600 on a cage system that there's nothing really wrong with that cage system. It's a decent cage system, but it just was not right for me. It is not what I really needed at the time. I should have saved my money, did a little more research to see what I actually needed. And as you can see, the very first cage that I built is the one that we're using now. The second lesson that we learned is that nature doesn't really care about your plans. Most people, when they raise animals, they worry about what's going to happen during the winter when the weather is cold. Really, honestly, a lot of animals have a harder time in the summer, and quail are one of those animals. They have a, and that's thunder. They are susceptible to heat. They do really well in cold weather, but they're very susceptible to hot weather. We made the mistake thinking that our setup was adequate. We had our quail in a 12 by 24 shop with a window unit air conditioner, and we thought, hey, this will be totally fine. And it was fine for several months. Then in late July, when I was returning to work after the summer, we had a heat wave with temperatures above 100 degrees, with heat indices well in the hundreds as well, even higher, 110, 115. Something happened. We don't really know what, but the heat just overwhelmed that little window unit, and temperatures in the shop got in excess of 115 degrees. We lost 17 birds in one day. And I'm going to get wet. And if you've ever lost animals, you know how that makes you feel. It makes you feel like a failure. We lost our goats last night. It makes you feel like you're a horrible person. And I felt all those things. It was a very tough day for me. I assumed that that little air conditioner would keep things cool enough for those quail, even in the hottest of weather. But truth is, the heat in that building, with the sun beating down on it, the heat in that building was just too much for that window unit to be able to expel. So we learned our lesson. Now we have our quail in a very ventilated area, area that's pretty much in shade at least 90% of the time, and we have good air ventilation and circulation in here as well. The next lesson that we learned is sometimes the little things matter. I read that quail should have special feeders, but I had a lot of chicken feeders and they were already bought and paid for, and I really didn't want to spend $1 or $2 or $5 on specialty quail feeders. So I said, hey, if it's good enough for chickens, it's good enough for quail. What I didn't know is that quail have an instinct of raking food with their beaks out onto the ground. And if you're raising quail in wire cages with wire floors, when they rake that feed out, it goes straight through the wire floor into the waste pans below that hold the manure. And so that food is wasted. Each time we would dump the manure trays, I was using those standard chick feeders. We were wasting pounds of feed each and every time we would dump those trays. So that's why I thought it was time to do something different. Quail are different than chickens. They require different hardware. So instead of going out and buying something special made, I looked on the internet and there were a lot of people that were using the plastic shoebox style feeders, and they were drilling holes in the side of the shoeboxes. And so I went and bought a couple of those shoeboxes from Dollar General and began to drill the holes in them. And the problem that I have is that the plastic was really brittle, and instead of wanting to drill a clean hole, it would just shatter the entire side. So I broke two of the shoebox style feeders just trying to drill the holes in the side. So I happened to have an empty ice cream bucket laying around, and I said, well, let me just try doing an ice cream bucket. So I just took an empty ice cream bucket and drilled 1 1/8 inch holes all the way around. This saves quite a bit of food. This saves 90% of the food. There's still that 10% that they're able to waste. The next step to make these even more no waste would be to add the little collars, the little white collars that go in here that keep them from coming out and raking feed out. But these, I'm fairly happy with these. These work pretty good. Like I said, they prevent about 90% of the raking out. There is still a little bit of raking out that happens, but it's a whole lot less than what was happening with those chicken feeders. Sometimes fixing one little thing can save you quite a bit. And that's the case with those feeders. Changing that one little thing saved quite a bit. Guys, sometimes homesteading is not about buying the expensive equipment. I know that's what we see on YouTube. You see the homesteaders, they have the expensive tractors, the expensive equipment, the expensive cages. They have the top of the line everything. And that's not necessarily the right way to go. Sometimes it's the simple things that work better than the complicated things. And that was the case for us with this cage that we had back here with the no waste feeders. It's the simple things that you can make yourself. This lifestyle is about being self-sufficient. And being self-sufficient isn't always about going and buying what's already available. It's about making do with what you have. So the next lesson I learned about quail is that they're better than I expected. I believe that quail are the perfect small homestead animal. They provide eggs, they provide meat, all within a short amount of time. They can be at butcher size in about 4 weeks. In about a month, they can be ready to go. It still blows me away. Chickens take about 5 to 6 months to start laying. Quail start laying in about 5 or 6 weeks. We haven't got any eggs yet from our quail. They're at about that age. They're about that 4 to 5 week old range. We haven't got any eggs yet, but it's coming really soon. Yeah, it just started raining. The animals are comfortable. How's it going, Gretchen? So if you'd ask me what type of homesteader is quail best suited for, I'd say all of them. Quail is one of the greatest homestead animals there are. They take up very little room. They mature at an astounding rate. They're for everybody. I highly recommend raising quail. There's so much that they provide. Between the meat, between the eggs and the compost, and that's not even thinking about selling hatching eggs and selling quail chicks. It's a great animal for the homestead. So if you're thinking about raising quail on your homestead, I really encourage you, I strongly encourage you to go for it. Do it. Just learn from some of the mistakes that I learned from. Number one, do your research. Find out what bird is suited for what you're trying to do, whether that be for eggs or for meat or for both or for breeding and showing, whatever the case may be. Do your research, find out the breed that's perfect for you, get that breed. Don't just go out there and buy everything. Make it yourself. Here's the thing. Raising quail, what you need is very little. You need some sort of cage. This is a very simple cage that I built for about $100, 100, maybe $150 in today's economy. You can find people that are building cages just like this on Facebook Marketplace. So if you're not handy, you could just buy one like this and you're still going to save a ton of money over what you spend on a commercial style quail pen. Start small, start with something like this, and then move up. Second, remember that Mother Nature waits for no man. Think and plan out in advance where you're going to put your quail to where you can make the most of them, where they're going to be shaded, where they're going to be well ventilated and protected from predators. Number three, get you some no waste feeders. It'll save you money, it'll save you time, it'll save you heartbreak from throwing your money down the drain. Next, get ready because they're going to grow fast, really, really fast. And finally, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Social media has given this false facade to life where everything goes right, where mistakes are never made. The truth is, we as humans, we make mistakes. I've made a ton of them, and I've documented on our channel. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Making mistakes, failing, is just a sign that you tried something. If you don't ever try anything, you won't fail at it. But if you try, sooner or later you're going to fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Just learn from them like we have. If you're raising quail right now, I'd love to hear from you. What's one mistake that you've made? What's one lesson that you've learned that you could pass on to somebody else that they might not make that same mistake? I'd love to hear about it in the comments, guys. What lessons have you learned raising quail? Leave them down in the comments, guys. I have learned so much by reading the comments. Y'all are some smart folks, and I've learned so much. And if maybe you're new, maybe you're just in the testing out stage, maybe you're in the research stage, and you've got questions, put them down below. If I can't answer them, chances are somebody down in the comments will be able to answer your questions. We at Dogwood Hill Homestead, we have a great community on YouTube. And there's always somebody there that's willing to help. And we love our community. Y'all mean so much to us. Guys, thank you so much for watching the channel. I hope you have a great day. I hope that something here has inspired you to get a little bit closer to your food. Guys, have a great day. I'll see you on the next one. Lord willing, and the creek don't rise because it's raining.